Hello, YouTube. This is Gavagai, and I'm interested in doing some more kind of strictly political hangouts and videos. And so this is, I guess, kind of the first in that vein. Um, I I've had some conversations with Jungle just related to Christianity and religion and things. Uh, he's been doing a lot of posting about, or I should say, against President Obama lately. And I think probably through Jungle Jargon, I've also encountered another G plus person who goes by the name Joe Citizen, whose views are even more kind of extreme. He's posted several kind of anti-vaccine memes and articles and things. And he's also posted a lot of kind of anti-establishment things. And I've been interacting with both of them this morning on various posts that they've put up. And I invited them both to come, and neither one of them has shown up. Now it could be that they just had, it wasn't a good time for them. This was kind of impromptu. But since they were both very quick to interact and respond, I thought, well, they must be online and things. So I said, hey, let's do a hangout. And I waited for probably about 20 minutes or at least or so. And neither one of them has responded or continued to interact on those threads. So I don't know if they couldn't do it or what, but they're not here. But I did want to take a few minutes, and I'm going to have to get busy and actually get some work done today. I'm working from home, so I don't have unlimited time to do these things. But I did want to take a few minutes because I think these are, they're two posts that warrant attention and some criticism. So this one that I've got on the screen here now, it's a post from Jungle Jargon. Here he is. And he's the meme says basically Obama delivers keynote speech during extremism conference. And it shows the president, and it makes it look like he's holding up a sign that says freedom fighter, and it's clearly someone who is Islamic, Middle Eastern, with a caption bubble that says death to America, and he's got a bomb attached to him. And then another one on in the president's left hand, supposedly, that says terrorist, and shows a picture of a Tea Party protester whose caption says "God bless America" and is holding a Tea Party sign. The objection that I had to this is just that it's so dishonest, and I don't believe that the president has ever made any kind of comparison like this. I don't think that he would call the Islamic terrorists who are carrying out violence anything other than terrorists. I think that he has very adamantly spoken against them. And I don't think that he has ever referred to them as freedom fighters. Nor do I think that he has labeled Tea Party participants terrorists. And so my challenge to Jungle Jargon was, I said to him, is that what the president said, or is this another deceptive meme that is intended to spread misinformation about him? Because that's kind of been an ongoing theme that I've seen with Jungle Jargon. He's been really posting things that are very dishonest about what the president has said or what he stands for. And I'm not even saying that I agree with the president. I'm just trying to, my criticism is that it's not true, and that it's deceptive and dishonest, and it's propaganda. I'm all for freedom of speech, and I think that Jungle Jargon certainly has the right to post this. But I think, in particular, being that he claims to be a representative of Christ in some sense, it would be, something that he would be concerned about is being an honest person. And so, again, to Jungle Jargon, I challenge you. Why would you want to post things that are really just spreading misinformation or lies? If you want to criticize the president, criticize him for what he actually says and what he actually stands for. Don't criticize, or don't post things that are dishonest and not true. Because, I mean, to me, when I see that, it suggests that you have to resort to these kinds of things, just rhetoric and tactics and straw man positions and things, straw manning the president, in order to create dissatisfaction, rather than leveling genuine substantive criticisms against the president. So, I challenge you, Jungle Jargon. If the president has said something like that, I will stand right next to you and say, this is not good, because clearly anyone with any common sense can see the difference between Tea Party representatives. Whether or not you agree with them, they have not, on the whole, resorted to violence, and I don't even know of any small faction of Tea Party activists who have carried out any kind of violent action. So, if the president actually portrayed things in this manner, I would join you in your criticism of the president. But the idea that he has done this has not been substantiated. So if you are interested, or you have any actual statements from the president that come anywhere close to this, I'm more than happy to look at them and evaluate them, and like I said, I would be more than happy to join you in your criticism of the president. And Jungle Jargon has said, how can I defend a despicable person? Later on down the comment thread here. And I'm not defending the president. I'm simply defending truth. And you don't seem interested or concerned with whether or not these things are true. That is what concerns me. So that was the post that I've been engaging with this morning so far, with that Jungle Jargon put up. Joe Citizen is, as I said, another G+ user who has posted a meme that was a billboard, basically saying "Citizens' Guide to Revolution of a Corrupt Government. Starve the beast. Vote out incumbents. If steps 1 and 2 fail, prepare for war. Live free or die." And the meme says, "It's coming. Eventually, the American people will stand up." I found that meme disturbing for the fact that we have a system in place where we get to vote and elect leaders as representatives in our government, and what this billboard suggests to me is that we are not, it says to me that the person who posted the billboard and paid for it, if it's an actual billboard somewhere, is inciting people to revolt and commit violent acts against a democratically elected government, which I find just disturbing. So I said to Joe Citizen, I said, so you're planning to kill people when an election doesn't go the way you want? And he said, well, he didn't produce the billboard sign and called me a jackass. Someone else chimed in, yes, I'm a jackass. Well, that may or may not be the case, but it doesn't have anything to do with your intended meaning or purpose in posting this. So I said, you didn't produce the billboard, but since you chose to post it and did not express disapproval nor indicate your disagreement with it, I took it as a tacit endorsement. Are you opposed to the use of violence to overthrow a democratically elected government? And Joe replied and said, just because I allow you to post here does not mean that I, like you, am a jackass. Okay. If you want to know how I feel about this, read the words. Those who originally brought you freedom and democracy. As with all military, police, and government, I defend Constitution from dictators and tyrants, both foreign and domestic. And this has been kind of the recurring theme with Joe Citizen. He resorts to name calling and belittling me. When I haven't been, I don't think I've been rude or I haven't called him names. I haven't insulted him. I don't think. But he continually does this. Almost every post, everything that he replies to me, he includes something that demeans me. His favorite is apparently jackass. But I said, he's resorting to belittling me, and then I respond to what he said about the kind of the leaders of the American Revolution. I said they were not rebelling against a democratically elected government. They were rebelling against an autocrat and a legislative body in which they had no representation. I would argue there might have been other means to break away from that regime, see Canadian or Indian independence struggles, for example. But there was certainly a distinction between the situation in the 18th century in the United States and what we have, or I suppose at that time in the colonies, and what we have today with a president who's been elected twice with a popular vote and a recently elected Congress that is challenging him on virtually every issue. If the president has done something illegal or unconstitutional, there are constitutional provisions for removing him from office without having to resort to violence. So again, and I'm trying to press him here, I'm asking if he is opposed to the use of violence while we have this system in place, essentially, of democratic elections where people, if they are dissatisfied with the politicians that they've put in place, they can replace them every few years. And he responds and says, well, you keep asking the same questions, and that is rude. It's not rude if the person hasn't answered the question, or if the answer that they've given needs elaboration or unpacking in some way. So like I did in the previous response, the fact that he said, well, just look to the American Revolution. Well, does that mean that every time we're dissatisfied with the government, we should start running around killing people that we disapprove of? I don't think that that's what he's saying. But what is the difference between that and what he's proposing? So, I'm asking for specifics. What are the stipulations? What are the circumstances under which Joe Citizen would support the use of violence to overthrow or overturn a government? And by the way, if Joe or Jungle Jargon, if either of you have seen this video or this post, you are still welcome to join. That link is live, and I'm more than happy to have you join. If you've never been in a hangout before, we can do a practice hangout or something like that, and you can kind of learn the ropes. I think I'm very fair. You can look at other videos that I've done on my YouTube channel with people. I think I've been more than fair. I don't ever edit really any of my videos for that matter. The most that I've done is to add a theme song at the beginning when I did videos, the Super Atheist Brothers show with my brother. That's the extent to which I have edited videos. But at any rate, it's I don't think that it's rude to ask follow-up questions when something is unclear. And so he goes on and says the difference between today's government and the government there is a difference between today's government and the government that was set up for the people. And I explained that I asked question twice because I wanted clarity. And then I asked again, what are the important differences that make the use of violence against this elected government acceptable? And I've not had a response yet. So, Joe, to you, I would say, engage as an adult. You and I disagree on things clearly, but we can have a conversation and we can be respectful of each other without becoming rude, and maybe one or both of us will change our minds based on that discussion and engagement. There's not much more I can say, I suppose. But there's no need to be rude. I don't think that I've been unkind. I'm asking questions because I think that you are wrong, and I'm hopeful that you will actually think about what you're saying, think about the implications of what you're saying, and maybe be more thoughtful about the things that you choose to post. With regard to your anti-vaccine posts and things like that, there again, I think you're wrong, and I've explained why I think you're wrong. And I've asked you to, present some kind of defense for your rationale, your reasoning, why you think that that vaccines are bad and dangerous. And each time, I really have not heard anything of substance from you. So that's really all I have to say. Thanks for watching. This is a shorter video, and I was hoping that the two, Jungle Jargon or Joe Citizen, might show up and participate, but maybe another time. If there's another time that works for either of you guys, let me know. I'm interested in actually having a conversation with you, and you can come on here and present your information and your evidence, and I will listen to it. And you'll have a platform where you can speak your mind. So thanks for watching, anyone, and have a good day. Stay warm and stay safe. It's cold here in the US. Take care, and we'll talk to you later.